Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out on Fox News. One of the last survivors of 1921 Tulsa race riot dies at 103. Well, may the Most High rest her soul. I'm grateful. This woman's name was Olivia Hooker, and I am grateful for people like her because if there were no survivors, we would never have known the story of Black Wall Street, y'all. They would have took it and buried it and act like it never happened. But the fact that there were survivors, it gave us an opportunity to hear, number one, the greatness of our people to be able to come off of the slave field, go through Reconstruction, and become wealthy people in this country. And ladies and gentlemen, it makes me laugh when these trolls come along and try to act like y'all don't know how to run businesses. Y'all don't know how to do anything. Y'all got low IQs. And we got a strong history that shows not only did we know how to run businesses, we rose in this country as millionaires during the Depression. The people that are saying this stuff to you, their folks crashed and burned during the Depression. And these Black folks became millionaires, multi-millionaires. And if you look at the real history, white people were coming to work for Black folks. White people were coming to banks and borrowing money from Black banks because white banks had crashed. See, they're so busy telling you you're not saying things right, they try not to teach you this stuff at all. But see, the books and documentation is out there. All you got to do is pick it up and read. There is no point in you coming here talking about misinformation and I'm not telling this right when the documentation is there. And people like Olivia survive to tell exactly what happened. So there's nothing you can do or say to debunk it. These people lived. There were many survivors, just like after Rosewood happened. There were many survivors to tell the story. And ladies and gentlemen, Black Wall Street was financed by Black people, put together and financed by Black people. And these families became millionaires. See, this is why they're trying to keep business loans away from Black people because, see, they already saw what we can do. They're afraid if we get a hold of business loans, we will excel right past them just like we did during Black Wall Street. See, this is why Chinese and East Indians and Pakistanis and Arabs can all come to the Black neighborhood and set up shop. And the people that live right there, if they walk into a bank for a loan, they'll look at them like they lost their entire mind, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you ain't supposed to ask for that kind of stuff. Who are you? That's what happens when you have a history of showing the people that claim their IQs are high up, as if that's a hard thing to do. We still outperform them, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they have to sabotage you on jobs and everything else, because you are outperforming them. Easy to do, very easy to do. Olivia Hooker, one of the last survivors of the 1921 Tulsa race riot, and among the first Black women in the U.S. Coast Guard, died. She was 103. They said she died on Wednesday. So may the Most High rest her soul. She was 6 years old when the race riots broke out on Black Wall Street in Tulsa. She said she hid herself under a table when a white mob with an axe tore their way through their house and destroyed everything. And she had to just stay quiet so they didn't even see or notice her. And she lived to tell what happened. She said she was terrified, but she kept herself quiet. And she said the one thing she couldn't understand was why people would come and destroy their property and kill them, and they never did anything wrong to these folks. And as you can see, you don't have to do anything wrong to them. Their phone calls on us, on cops out here in public, calling the cops on black people, that should tell you you don't have to do a thing to these folks. But one thing that's different now is we now have social media, which did not exist in 1921. Only if it did, I tell you what, we would have gone way further than we did back then. Now, according to white people, it was only 3 dozens that died. But according to people like Olivia that survived, said there were 300 or even more that died. And I believe them. I believe their account. The violence began after they concocted a black man assaulted some white woman. They always use the white woman whenever they want to come after a black town with white mobs. They always use their stupid ass woman. So anyway, following the riots, Hooker's family moved, and during World War II, she began her career in the U.S. Coast Guard, and she was the first black woman. And what she did was she prepared discharges for guardsmen that were returning from the war and rejoining civilian life. Now, this woman was very smart. She went on and she earned a master's degree from Columbia University. She had a PhD in psychology from the University of Rochester, and she later worked as a professor at Fordham University in New York, according to the Coast Guard. Her goddaughter, Janis Porter, said Hooker died Wednesday at their home in White Plains, New York. Porter said her godmother had no surviving relatives. She didn't provide a cause of death. Well, 103, I would say probably old age. She said she had no dementia. So her mind was clear. She was just tired, Porter said Friday. Hooker was also a member of the Tulsa Race Riot Commission, now called the Tulsa Race Massacre Commission, which has sought reparations for those impacted by the violence and their survivors. So there you go. May she rest in peace, Olivia Hooker. And thank you, because if it wasn't for people like you, this story might not have ever been told at all. So I'm grateful for who she was, and I'm grateful she lived. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.